Hi guys, and welcome to another taping of the Cry But Don't Quit show. I'm your host, India Miles, and today we're going to have a guest come in and introduce herself and share her challenge with us.
Hi, my name is Barbara Holguin. I am the founder, owner, and director of research for Discovery Alcohol and Drug Education Program. We are an outpatient alcohol and drug facility in Nassau Bay. So this is where I'm at right now. I have been in business 9 years, and I no longer feel the need to identify with the version of me that built this company, India. It was a lot of fighting, having to prove myself, tenacity. I don't feel like that person anymore. And I do believe that I want to put that guard down and figure out who I am now at this point. And I'm not quite sure how to do that.
Right. And I love this topic, by the way, because somewhere along the lines, I don't think we ever even got a choice to be her in the first place. It just was cause and effect. So it's growth for you to realize, like, at this point, I'm having to wake up being a person, a version of myself that the job calls for it. And what's the point if this is something I created? I kind of get to write the rules here and create it the way that I want to. Number one, biggest piece of advice is birthing the shoulders. When we are becoming mothers, they say the hardest part is birthing the head, but second hardest part is birthing the shoulders. And what happens is that there is a lag between creating the fight of creating something new and bringing it into the world. And that is extremely painful at first. Where Cry But Don't Quit comes in is when you have already been completely invested, gave it your all, done over and over again. The tenacity that it requires to stay the course. We're not talking enough about they celebrate how many women business owners there are, but how many remain. I mean, they love to fluff the numbers and say, oh, there's all these business owners, but you meet those same business owners a year or 2 years from now, they've burned out. Yeah. They've fizzled out. They've changed directions. They've changed identities, and that's all right. Like, we can do that. I've had to reinvent myself over and over again. So I'm giving you this advice that God gave me, which was to birth this. It was birthing the shoulders. And I literally felt the pain on my shoulders for about 2 months. And I'm like, I'm an OG at this. This is 15 years in for me. Why am I going through another growth moment? I'm grown,
It feels like that.
So as you are being called to go to a different place in your life, it's going to require a different version of you. And it's going to be a painful birthing process of you not being able to rely on the skill sets, the relationships, the knowledge, especially as you step into becoming an empowerment speaker and sharing your journey and going back to education. We often find ourselves at an identity crisis of like, okay, I'm really good at this, so let me just do that, only to realize that wherever there's trepidation and resistance and reluctancy, that ain't where you're supposed to be. How's that land for you?
It sounds about where I'm at right now, because it definitely feels like a space of, it's very unknown. I feel very vulnerable, not getting to fight all the time. God gave me that download in December of last year, disarm. I said, I didn't even know I had my weapons up, but I realized I have been this whole time. And I just don't feel like that person anymore. So yes, that was definitely what you just said. It makes sense.
Yeah. And, business is a boys' club. It's a boys' game. It's very transactional. It's very practical and statistics heavy. But we women get to do it differently, and we get to approach it differently. And I'm probably certain, if I could assume as much in business, you didn't lead your company from a place of being an expert.
No, it was just,
you were already vulnerable the whole time.
Absolutely.
This is just a different type of vulnerability. It's not the type of vulnerability that's comfortable to talk about, but the ones that says, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford this. I thought I wanted to go in this direction. Now I want to go in this direction. Those are a little bit harder for women who are used to setting the plan. Once the plan's in motion, the plan is the plan. that's not really going to work for you in this season of disarming yourself and letting people into helping you build this next journey out. I do want you to speak to that moment in your life, though, the disarming moment, how God took all your money.
Yeah.
Been there. How God, closed all the doors for you. I really want you to really describe what it's like to cry but don't quit. So go ahead. You do it.
That was like the bottom of the bottom. After you've had from what we would call success, the company's doing well, and then I got off track somewhere along the way, and I believe it was God's way of saying this wasn't the purpose. You need to get back on track. And humbled, absolutely humbled. Everything was taken from me within 24 hours. I made some poor decisions that left me in a space of
fighting for your life.
Basically. But at that point, I support 12 a staff. I 2 locations. I can't just quit. I can't quit. So it was a lot of getting back up and figuring out, all right, I wasn't listening. I'm listening now. I'm listening. What do you need me to do?
So I want to share perspective on that. On one end, normally it comes out of catastrophe, the pivot. Others, it comes out of willingness and surrender. It's like, hey, something awful happened. That was a gift. And, or something unexpected happened. I got sick. I got hurt. I made a wrong decision, and it's a wake-up call. The self-worth advice that I want to give you is that we are not what we do. Get a life. Your life is not your professional title, your acumen. Go play tennis, go play pickleball, go hang out with some people on the weekend. Like, get a life. If all you're doing from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep is stressing about your business, your professional climb, you don't have a life. You don't have friends. You've got coworkers or associates. And it's not a very safe environment for a woman that's been fighting for the last, near decade, when you cannot turn that off and just be amongst friends and amongst family and amongst people that love you no matter what. Because in business, they love you today, and tomorrow it's like, what's your name again?
It's true.
So if you can let our audience know how to get a hold of you, what's coming next. I don't know. You didn't even tell me you want to be a speaker. I just started speaking that over you. That's what I do.
I don't know what's going next, but I'm open to it. I'm definitely accepting of wherever I'm going to in this next path, where it should take me. I do have a YouTube podcast that we are working on. It's Business from the Barrio, where I talk about creating a business from the ground up with my co-host Latinos. We create our businesses from nothing. And I also have on all social platforms, Discovery DWI will take you to everything that has to do with our outpatient programming and anything that we have to come. Yeah, for sure. I'm excited.
We'll see where she is this time next year. So thank you guys
Thank you
for watching.